Mr. K, you have asked a question which I want to answer today in my own experience. You have asked, how come when my money hits the till, it just seems to vanish? And I'll talk it as straight as possible. And I don't mean to hurt your feelings, or the feelings of anybody who has similar problems, but let me handle the problem all the same. This is what I have learned in my own experience because I have gone through exactly the same thing. Your question is this: why do I have no money at the end of the day? Once money hits my till, it seems to just evaporate. I'll tell you why. First of all, don't treat your till as your personal wallet. What is in your till belongs to very many people. We're going to discuss who those people are later. What is in your till belongs to very many people, including yourself. What is yours is the salary that your business has paid you. When you start your business, Mr. K, when you started your business and then you became its employee. So it pays you whatever you have, whatever it pays you. Say, for example, it pays you 50,000 shillings a month. That's what you should be using to meet your ends, your needs. It's not like every time that you need to buy Pampers, you go into the till and buy Pampers for your newborn child, or when you need to buy a cup of somebody has broken a cup at home, and you need a new one. You have to go into the till and buy the cup. No, differentiate between the money that is yours and the money that belongs to the business. What is in the business belongs to the business until you're paid a salary, and you're paid a salary like everybody else at the end of the month, even though you should be paid first. Should is the operational word here. Not every businessman pays himself first, but you should pay yourself first. Why? Because you have taken the risk to start the business, keep it running, and make sure that it's running, put in all your thoughts and your energy and so on. So make sure that you actually pay yourself, preferably first. Now understand this. When the money comes into your till, it belongs to so many people. Let's talk about somebody who does something as easy to understand as garments. They buy garments from somewhere on River Road, and they stitch uniforms, overalls, and dust coats. Let's look at two lines of production. There's the big guy who has 6 machines, for example, and you who has 2. He does it like this. The materials are all cut, and every person stitches just one portion. One does the collar, the other one does the left sleeve, the right sleeve, and so on until the end. And the same guy who cuts it is the one who checks the quality at the end. For you who has 2 machines, your people have to be specialists so that they do everything and try and make as many as possible of those things that you've been given an order for every day. However, he has one advantage. On his line, the production is very high and very high quality, and the volume is very high because he's able to do, everybody's doing a little bit of just a little bit of the thing, and at the end producing something in very large quantities, very large volumes. For you, your guy has to turn this around and turn it over and so on and so forth. And as a result, there'll be a lack of consistency in quality, and they'll be very slow. Now, you need to look at how you produce and why you produce. You know, Mr. K, you might have come into your business because there was somebody who left a gap, and you saw an opportunity in the gap. You are not solving a problem. If you are solving a problem, it was limited to that gap. It will never grow beyond that, because the other guy has already got so much working for him that you can only fill that gap and stay there. So the reason that you might be having a problem with your till is that there isn't enough cash flowing in. Number two, your cost of production is very high. And so look at it this way. Your cost is high. Your turnover, how many times you can turn your business money over, all of that. You see that whole 100,000 that you're making every month. How many times can you actually turn it over? That is what we call turnover. Because out of that 100,000 that you turn over, it leaves you the profit of say 20,000. That 20,000 is what you're using to pay off all of your debts in that month. Suppose you are to turn it over twice in the same month, you'd have 40,000, meaning that you have broken even at 20,000 and you now have an extra 20,000. That is the rate at which your business can now easily expand, because you have money now to look to go into, to dig into for business growth. If you can do it 3 times a month and you have your 60,000, it means that you have broken even at 20 and you have an extra 40 for the business to grow, to expand. Let's look at the cost of running your business. Try to keep the cost low, but you must also make sure that you are competitively priced so that you can be in profit. Do not forget that you are in business for profit. Never forget that. People will come and ask you for credit, and it's okay, no problem. They can ask. Make sure that when you're pricing your commodities, your product, that thing that you're selling, that you've priced it such that even if somebody stays with your money for 3 months, you'll still be fine, because they have paid for the interest the same way that you have paid the bank that interest. What do I mean? Let me explain it slowly. Mr. K, always consider that you are working with borrowed money. Borrowed money, not your own money from somewhere. Always consider that even if it's your own money, the business has borrowed the money from you, and it has borrowed it at commercial rates. It's important for you to never forget that. Your business must always work with borrowed money. Even if it's from your pocket, it's lent to the business at commercial rates. So that if somebody takes credit, they have actually borrowed money from you. The same way that you have borrowed money from the bank. This guy who takes credit from you has also borrowed money from you and is holding it for 3 months. So suppose the interest is 20%. 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months. Divide the year into 4. That guy has taken 20%. Make sure that the pricing is such that even if he retains that thing for 90 days, 3 months, that the interest element that you are paying is factored into the credit that you have given him. That's why it's important for you to avoid credit altogether, because that's where the trickery is in business. You can't give one person credit at an extra, at a high fee. You can't give somebody credit and tell him, I'm giving you credit, but I'll increase the price. He'll leave you along with your goods. So you price it right from the beginning, or you don't give credit. One of those two. So you need to price your goods correctly. You need to make sure that you are paid a salary, and that the salary is where you take all your money for your personal use from. And you need to cost everything correctly. The guy who has, like in the first example, who has a long line of workers who are manufacturing a portion of these things each. That guy will have a turnover of 200 units per day. You'll have a turnover of 3. Admittedly, you'll never catch up with him. But it also means that his cost of production can be very low. Yours will be high relative to the number of pieces that you are manufacturing in a day. His will be very low relative to the number of pieces that he's producing in the whole day. He's making 200 from 6 people. You're making 4 or 5 from 2 people. Your cost will always be very, very high compared to his. And therefore, he can cost his much lower compared to you and edge you out of the market or keep you in that bracket, which he does not have an interest in because it's a troublesome bracket. Also make sure, Mr. K, that you have actually gone into business to solve a problem. Don't go into business simply because that gap, that niche is there. That gap is there. Because the gap might disallow you from ever expanding. It might force you to just be there for forever, soaking up all of the problems of the big industry. So as you think about where your money goes, think about how the money is spent. The other problem I have found is that people don't live on a budget. People live from day to day, not thinking about budgeting. You have to budget one. You have to have a plan of how to spend your money. Otherwise, you'll have a bit of a problem that will never cease. And saving will be a problem, expanding will be a problem. And the secret to budgeting is to separate monies. What goes into what belongs to the business stays in the business, and what is yours is yours. Do not touch what belongs to the business until you get your salary and use your salary for all of your things. Leave the business money within the business to multiply itself and grow. Also make sure that you turn your business over. You see that 100,000 that you earn every month, turn it over many times within the month and you'll be fine. You'll be better off than when you turn it over once a month and you break even. Turn it over the second time, turn it over the third time, and as time progresses, you'll find that you're turning over your 100,000 several times a month, and as a result of that, you'll find that your business now is able to grow.